Hey, Lashy Kids and Driving Mutants. No intro today because I'm so late. Sorry, something happened and my internet went out. Well, not it didn't go out, but for some reason my computer was picking up a different Wi-Fi than what it usually picks up. Probably because I have to do an update and I'm going to wait to do that update until afterwards. Because last time I did an update, my computer started acting all funny. Let's see who is here. Terrence says hi, thumbs up. Hey, Terrence. Basic Autumn Ween Queen is here. Hello. Tony Man says, everyone hit the thumbs up when you come up here. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hear that's good for the algorithm. Mr. Dan Horror says, Terrence, BAQ, and Tony, what's going on? Everybody's saying hello. This is great. I like to see this. Mr. Dan Horror says, doing well. I saw the black phone yesterday. I saw the black phone last weekend as well. Marty says, yo, yo. And Tony T says, hi. What do you all want to talk about first? Even though if it's supposed to be a holiday weekend, it does not feel like a holiday weekend. Oh, yeah. Okay, got on. You can tell how excited I am by the weekend by the fact that I'm wearing complete sweats. I mean, complete sweats, even sweatpants. And drinking my coffee. Autumn Ween says, I saw the black phone. It was amazing. I think I fell asleep on the black phone. I think I fell asleep a couple times watching the black phone, but it was an interesting story. I just felt like it was too long. They could have easily cut 20 minutes out of it. Terrence is saying hello to everyone. Tonyman says, Mr. Dan, you mean wasted your money on, not watched. Okay, so this is the debate we're going to have. I think that the Black Phone, it appears to be a very polarizing movie. It's either you love it or you hate it, although in my case, I don't hate it, but I didn't love it either. I just thought it was okay. I actually wrote in my notes, I'm still going to review it, but I wrote in my notes that I thought that it would have made a great episode of an anthology TV show, more so than a movie. I think they had 40 minutes of great material, and I think where it lost me is they tried to stretch it out too far because there was way too many scenes of Homeboy just sitting in a chair like this with a mask on. I'm just like, or maybe it's just my ADHD, and I'm like, I need it to be more popping than what it was. But yeah, if it was part of a TV anthology show and it was 30 to 45 minutes, I think it would have worked really, really well. Terrence says, just been listening to King Gore's new record all day. It's amazing. Oh, I got to check that out. I didn't know he had a new record out. I have to check out his record. BAQ says, it doesn't feel like a holiday at all. No, it doesn't. It just feels like a regular, weekend. Doesn't feel like a holiday. I don't feel like celebrating. Hey, Minky Latte. Hello, City Hunter Love. Oh, look at that. Look at that Predator in your default picture. That's cool. I like Predator. Mr. Dan Har says it was pretty good. It was pretty good about the I just said the name, the black phone. Toyman says, I saw Crimes of the Future and I got more excited picking Fly Turd Out of My Pepper. That movie sucked ass. I was so bored. Okay, the fly turd thing caught me off guard. But yeah, Crimes of the Future was also excruciating boring. And I like Cronenberg. I've liked Cronenberg since, let me think, what's the first Cronenberg movie I saw? Probably The Fly. And then when I got older, I saw The Brood and the movie with the twins that were gynecologists, Dead Ringers. I don't really love Dead Ringers as much as I like The Brood and The Fly, but they were still okay. What else? Cronenberg did also Videodrome, right? I think that was him, and I enjoyed that. This one, it was just so much talking. And they weren't saying anything new. It was like the same thing over the same. It was like people having the same conversation over and over and over again. It wasn't enough content for them to be talking as much as they did. Tony T says, doesn't Return of the Living Dead take place on the 4th of July? Technically, it starts on the 3rd of July. But I did review Return of the Living Dead in costume. I dressed up as one of the I don't want to call them punk rock kids because not all of them were punk rock. That's what was so interesting about their friend group. There was like they had like different edges to them, but they were all hanging together. I thought that was kind of cool. But yes, this is that weekend. Did you listen to the Weeknd's album? Yes, I did listen to the Weeknd's album. I think it's just okay only because the background music amazing. I because I love dance music. I love 80s music. It sounded like the Weeknd was trying very hard to borrow the sound of like Depeche Mode and New Order, and there's also a group called Erasure from the 90s. But the thing where he loses me is that his vocals were very how do I say it? Because I was about to say monotone, but that's not the correct word. I would say without enough feeling. Like there wasn't enough feeling in his voice. I feel more in the new wave singers than what the Weeknd was giving, and I don't know why. Whether it's a matter of him not connecting with his music or just trying so hard to sound like a British new wave singer. He even did a fake British accent when he was talking on the album. I wasn't. I wish that the vocals were better because the background music was so good. Same thing with Drake's new album. Excellent background music. That music is. I love house music, but he sang so monotonously over it. It's just like that. House music is. If you want to hear the right way to sound over a house song, refer to Beyonce's "Break My Soul." She sounded right, and then she brought Big Frida on it and really gave it that Like, yeah. When you think about house music, I'm sorry to go off on this tangent about house music, but house music, I'm sure Terry understands because Terry's very into music as well. But original house music had very, very strong vocals. Basically, it's dance music with a gospel vocal. That's why some of the biggest house artists were like Shannon and Robin S. And these really Martha Wash. That is an all-star. Martha Wash is such a good singer that she sang on other people's albums and they didn't even credit her. They had a little model like CNC Music Factory had the little skinny model lip syncing Martha Wash's vocals, but a strong vocal, and people forget that, and that's why the Beyonce house situation works out better for me than the Weeknd's dance. Well, Weeknd didn't do exactly house music. He did new wave dance, kind of 80s, and then Drake also did some house music. But again, the Weeknd and Drake very weak vocals. Okay, I'm done with my rant about music. City Hunter Love says he's my baby. Who are you referring to? The Weeknd? Capri says, hi, Lady Shasha, do you celebrate the 4th? It depends. Like this year, I don't feel like celebrating it at all. When I was back up north, like I'm originally from Connecticut, and a lot of my family would have 4th of July barbecues. So we'd go do the barbecue thing, but I haven't really celebrated it like that in, let me think, at least 10, 11 years. I do celebrate Juneteenth, which incidentally, this is very odd. We celebrate, well, I can't say for all people in Connecticut, but in Connecticut, we've been celebrating Juneteenth for like 30 years. They have a whole ball and gala at the Capitol building, which is very interesting because you would think that it would be more celebrated in the South than up north, but it was interesting for me to find out this year so many people didn't know about Juneteenth. Stan says, I can see that, Shasha. It was similar to some other films and shows. I think you're speaking about The Black Phone, if I'm not mistaken. What's your thoughts on Netflix situation at the moment? They seem to be circling the drain. They spent so much on Netflix originals, and it's only Stranger Things and Cobra Kai keeping them afloat. Technically, it is Squid Game and Stranger Things keeping them afloat. the most watched shows that they have on there was Squid Game for almost 8 months straight, and then just now, Stranger Things has eclipsed Squid Game for being the most watched on there. I think that they need to spend less money on their original movies because I don't think that we don't need a big budget action movie with who was it? The last one they just did a big budget action movie with. I want to say it was called The Free Guy, but I might be mistaking that for an Amazon original. No more big budget, action movie type things, unless I if you're gonna do action, go back to more 80s style action, more like Death Wish, Rambo, that type of thing. I think that's gonna be more entertaining than what I call the Jason Bourne type action, because the thing that the American action movie industry needs to recognize, let me take this off here because I know that's covering up half my face, um, is that after the Raid and the Raid Redemption and the John Wick movies, the bar has been raised. We're not settling for camera tricks and shaky cam action sequences. No, if we want to see real action sequences, and if you're not gonna give us, that level of action sequence, just skip it, because you're wasting money on car explosions that don't make your movie any more interesting. When are we going to get a horror movie that brings everyone together? I don't know, because people are more polarized now than they've ever been, and it's like they want to be. They wake up in the morning and want to argue with people. You don't have to. I said it before and I'll say it again. Look at it this way when it comes to, and I'm speaking specifically on entertainment. I'm not speaking about politics. I'm speaking about entertainment. People get so angry if someone doesn't like what they like. And it's like, where did you learn this from? Like, did you flip the table in kindergarten when people said what their favorite color was? Did somebody say, my favorite color is red? And you were like, but green, though. No, we didn't. So where are people picking up this all or nothing attitude that everyone must like what they like? Let people like what they like. Saying hello. And Halloween Kills, Scream 5, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, all been kind of polarizing, and Candyman 2021. Only because some people just want to whine and cry about shit. Because they're new to horror as a genre, because horror movies have always had something to say. Like, how are you going to complain about Candyman 2021 when almost 30 years ago, the original Candyman was the same, if not more political in tone? It just gives you just want to cry about something, because literally nothing changed in the presentation of that movie, in that series. 30 years ago, it's political now. Why are you crying now? You weren't crying in 92. Why are you crying now? Because you just want to have something to cry about. And I think part of that wanting to have something to cry about is a certain segment of society who feel like if they're not centered in the conversation, that it's affront to them. And it's like, that's BS. Get over it. You've been the center of the conversation for almost 100 years of film. And still, if we did the mathematics on movie releases, there's more movies released without a deeper political message than not. So just go watch those movies. You have a choice. You don't like something, don't watch it. Let other people enjoy it. Tony said, it's not a costume. It's a way of life. Not a lifestyle, it's a way of life. It's not a costume. They presented the 80s, the Friends. Yeah, they represented the 80s, the Friends and Return of the Living Dead. You know what's interesting? When I did the cosplay for Return of the Living Dead, when I applied the eyeliner and makeup to become trash, it actually felt empowering. Like the punk aesthetic, it's like something internally that makes you feel better, if that makes sense. Like the more eyeliner I put on, the better I felt. I don't know what that means, but I like it. I may do that again. Fomiki Latte says Drake ain't no singer. Not at all. What he could have done is he could have stepped back and just played more the role of the producer. And people still would have lauded him for it. If he created this album, kind of like how Quincy Jones back in the day would have these albums, but he didn't sing on them. And everybody still loved Quincy Jones. So I don't know why Drake didn't do that. He's able to find the right people. He found the right recording engineers, the right mix masters, the right background music. That he didn't make that background music himself, but he found the right people to make great background music. So then go and find a great singer, and then know what you do? Put a little verse or two on a song. That's how you do that. You don't have to sing it all yourself. You're not a singer. You're clearly never going to be a singer, unfortunately. Or fortunately. I don't know however you want to look at it. Sylvester, yes, thank you, Basic Autumn Wing Queen. Sylvester. I would try to sing You Make Me Feel, but I will never in my life have the pipes to sing You Make Me Feel. Oh my God. Yes, Sylvester is a house legend. Terrence says, I love me some house music. And if you get the chance, Terrence, check out specifically Chicago house music that has a very uh, heavy piano drive to it. I really love, well, I love all house music. Even Euro house music is pretty cool too. A lot of the Euro house music that was coming out in the 90s they were like compositions, almost like on the level of like a Mozart type composition. Like they went above and beyond musical composition with Eurohouse in the 90s, specifically the 90s. Once it got to the 2000s, they got a little bit repetitive and a little bit lazier in their composition. But the 90s, they put their foot in it. Tony says, I like Gasoline, but he hits too many runs when he sings. You're talking about The Weeknd. Mm-hmm. Terrence says, everybody dance now. Yep, that's the one with Martha Wash on vocals. And oh, let me see if I can pull up the picture of the model. I always get a kick out of this. Just to show you guys. Anybody that's younger, because I know there's some people that are younger. They may not remember or know this. Find images. It's giving me the video game. I don't want the video game. I have to add CNC Music Factory. There she is. Okay, let me share the screen. There she is. This is the model that everyone saw in the music video for Everybody Dance Now and also Gonna Make You Sweat. And I'll show you the actual singer. This is the actual singer of the song that was not featured in the music video. You also may know her from the Weather Girls, who sang It's Raining Men. And their voices were amazing. Here they are. These are the Weather Girls. That's Big Girls Don't Cry. This is It's Raining Men. And I know you must have heard the song It's Raining Men, but yeah. Okay, give me a minute to get through all these comments. I know I'm a little behind. I just watched All the Colors of the Dark. It's a giallo film from the 70s. I usually love giallo films, but the film was very slow burner. I don't remember that one. Is that on Shudder? Because it seems like Shudder, well, the two apps that have the most giallo movies that I've seen have been Shudder and Tubi. Try The Promise by Nutty NYS. That's a good modern spin on house music. Let me see. The Promise by Nutty NYS. Okay, I'll look that up. Terrence says, you guys are lucky you got your independence. We're going to try and get it again next year. Do you mean in Scotland? Hopefully that comes through, because it's well overdue, especially if I know from reading some articles that what they showed us in Braveheart is not the actual truth of the situation, but a lot of what we saw in that movie informs us about the British occupation of Scotland. And I wonder, what is it about the British that told them that they should just occupy so many different places? It's just an odd thing to come about. No, the Predator. For real, that's my statue because I love him so much. I don't like humans. Okay. I get it. I see why you would love the Predator, especially as a individual that is a hunter and whose culture, the Predator's culture, um, reveres sportsmanship and hunting ability. The costume comment was for your cosplay comment about return. And Terrence says Netflix is dull as dishwater. Yeah, I think what they need to do is the problem with Netflix is I think they are trying to be too mainstream and they need to try to find their niche. With Amazon, it seems like their niche is like straight rated R content in their television shows, with the exception of what show was I watching? Upload, which is very like regular sitcom type thing, but it was a good show. Um, the other thing is Netflix. They're relying too heavily on these teen dramas, and from what I'm seeing on TikTok, the teens don't even like them. They just make fun of the teen dramas that Netflix produces. So, or the teen comedies as well. I see more kids making fun of those movies than identifying with those movies. So, I think they need to get better writers or younger writers or whatever it is that will reach out to the youth because they're not feeling that. Less Ryan Reynolds. That's who I was thinking of. They were pushing this movie with Ryan Reynolds in it, and I don't care. I mean, I like him, but if it's he's Deadpool now. Let me know when he's doing Deadpool again. I'll check it out. Anything other than that, he just plays the same character over and over again. Kind of like Bill Murray. Bill Murray did that. He played the same character for like 20 years. Happy Friday, host and chat. Hey, Donna, just being real. Donna says Death Wish, those were good movies. Yes, they were. I grew up on some Death Wish. This weekend what they should be playing is Invasion USA. That's what they should be playing. Oh, by the way, A-Team is on Tubi now. I'm just waiting for it. I want them to put Miami Vice on Tubi because I really miss watching Miami Vice. Wasn't there one with The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot, and stealing an egg? Yeah, yeah, on Netflix, and you're paying too much money. I know you paid The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot a grip to be in this movie, and the return, or I should say, the return on investment didn't pan out because more people will watch people that they don't even know on a show than these big names. That's the other thing. A lot of movie companies need to learn now that the industry has changed. Back in the day, movie stars sold movies. I don't think that's the case now. I think the subject matter sells the movie more than the star. And we've seen this over and over again with Marvel because Marvel creates stars. More 3D movies. Yes, they could do that. They could do 3D movies on their app. They could do 3D movies because if we can buy a 3D DVD and put in a DVD player and put on our glasses and watch 3D movie at home, they can produce that for their streams or the streaming service. How does Netflix recoup the cost? Like the Adam Project costs an absolute arseload of money, and like it is the newer subscriber count act like their box office. I don't know how they recoup, and they also don't release their numbers. Like they never release the numbers of how many people watch something. They'll just say this is the most watched, this is the second most watched, but they don't tell us the actual numbers, so we don't even know. Bird Box was a decent horror original from Netflix. I agree. I don't think it was awesome, but it was good. Another one that I think is being overlooked is called There's Someone in Your House. And it's a slasher movie. I thought it was pretty decent. Not the most amazing thing, but pretty decent. Those are the same people who quit Monopoly and change rules of the game when they're losing as kids. You're talking about the people who get, upset about some of the movies that Terrence mentioned. Yeah, I just don't have enough time in my life to be mad at a movie unless the movie is outright being, racist or something. Like I can't be bothered. And even then, I'll mention it and say, hey, that movie was racist. I'll never watch that again. And then let's move along. I'm not going to write, paragraphs and paragraphs about it or make my whole life dedicated to, this one movie I didn't like. I'm just going to move on. There's so many other movies to watch. Wait till we get the female Pinhead in the sequel to The Exorcist. I will be hiding for that. Yeah, one day I'm gonna stream and I'm gonna read the passage from, because I have the Hellbound Heart. Where is it? It's right here. The Hellbound Heart. And in the book, when they're describing Pinhead, they say this creature has a female voice, because they don't describe them as humans at all. They're Cenobites. But in the book, when you read it, they, if anything, they're either female or non-gendered at all. And I believe I read one time that Clive Barker was going to have a female Pinhead, but the producers said, we don't do female antagonists in horror. It's got to be a man, because, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers. And even though Clive was like, this isn't a slasher movie, they were like, we don't care. Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, all men. So Pinhead's got to be a man. Nicole Tees, hey Nicole, says, punk is light. For real, explore it. It does feel good. Thank you. The closest I've come, and this is not to say that these two things are anything alike, just that they're both considered counterculture, is for a time when I was in college, I was invited to go out a few places with these kids that happened to be goths, and they were really the sweetest people that you could ever meet. Very intelligent too. We had so many great conversations at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in campus. Very deep philosophical conversations. I just listened to London Calling, or Should I Stay or Should I Go, and hammer nails into the 2x4s. That's how punk I get. Nothing wrong with that. Basic Autumn Queen says, I remember her. Probably talking about Martha Wash, or we were also talking about Sylvester. I don't know how Sylvester self-identified, but The Offering, Billy Talent, Zebrahead are some of faves for punk. I haven't heard of The Offering, but I think I've heard of Billy Talent and Zebrahead. Tony Man says, I love Zebrahead. It's a shame Peanut had to do what he did in a skating ring. Oh, you're talking about the movie Zebrahead. I just listen to the music. I don't follow the artist too much because people disappoint me. Yeah. Hey, Jay. Jay is in the House and Hood podcast. I did not finish Stranger Things. I will finish Stranger Things between today and tomorrow. That, and I got to watch the new episode of The Boys. How about Lisa and Cult Jam? Oh, by the way, while I have, let me go back to that. You see that profile picture, Hood Podcast. That's the one you have to look for if you're looking for Hood Podcast, because when you type in Hood Podcast in the search, we don't come up first. You have to scroll down. And when you see the little man with the baseball cap, that's us. If you want to hear us talk about, we just talked about The Boys Herogasm, and it's probably age restricted because, the subject matter, but we got into it. So go check that video out before I forget. It's also shared on my community page on YouTube. Okay, Tony T says, how about Lisa and Cult Jam? I grew up on that. I grew up on Lisa and Cult Jam. Matter of fact, I dressed up one Halloween, which is funny. I actually dressed up as Jodie Watley, and everyone called me Lisa. That wasn't what I was going for, but I was happy either way. I actually won fourth. I think I won 4th place in the costume contest that year. My sister beat me. She won 1st place. She was dressed as Aaliyah. R. Kelly got sentenced, and their folks saying 30 years is too harsh. He groomed young girls, and that's nothing to say. That shite that went on with Aaliyah, he got off easy, if you ask me. What do you think? Well, his criminal activity lasted 30 years, so that seems about fair. But also he got one of his charges is trafficking, and that's beyond just statutory rape or anything like that. Like, he was trafficking. And I don't want to talk too much about this because I don't want to get my stream messed up, because they don't want you to say certain words on YouTube. But what gave me the inkling that that's what he was doing is the fact that he was keeping the girls separated and locked in different rooms. He had several girls, and they were locked in different rooms. And you only do that if you are running a brothel or some type of thing. I think this is only beginning of this case. I think there's going to be a lot of what they aren't saying, and I think part of the reason why they're not televising it is because of the connections that R. Kelly has to other people. And I think what may come out is the other men that R. Kelly was servicing with these young ladies, because they were mostly in entertainment and in politics. I don't think it's a coincidence that R. Kelly stayed in Trump Towers. And there was also like a connection between him and Epstein. So, like, I think this is one part of a larger scandal that's going to come down. Tony Man says, I pay you to sing the chorus of It's Raining Men, and it sounds like you'd be raining. Oh, yeah, it's thundering right now. But there's nothing I can do about it. Oh, shoot. Let me get into this. Hopefully, we don't lose power or anything like that. Filmmaker Lodge says, I was so confused when I first saw the Sweat music video. The voice in the model didn't add up. Yeah. For my generation, I think we just accepted it. We were just like, okay, I guess so. Filmmaker Latte says, R. Kelly did that to boys and girls. Yes, he did. And that's the other thing that we shouldn't leave out here is one of the reasons he was able to get away with it so long was because of the children that he targeted. He targeted not only Black and brown children, but Black and brown children from impoverished areas. I'm just saying, had that been, upper middle class or a wealthy white children, he'd have been arrested years ago. It wouldn't have taken 30 years to put him away. It's an unfortunate thing. Terrence says, White Man's Burden by Rudyard Kipling Hives. Kipling gives you an insight into the mindset of the British Empire. They felt they were right in civilizing uncivil places. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know we're taught in America that they believed in what they called manifest destiny, and it was their manifest destiny to rid America of the heathens that they called Native Americans. And also to expand and take over land and territory, that type of thing. Regardless of gender, he was a scumbag for doing stuff to kids. Exactly. Astrid DeKeko or DeKecho. I don't know when I'm saying the last name right, Astrid. I'm just going to call you Astrid. Astrid says, hello, everyone. Hello, Astrid. Tommy says, the film industry needs to take some lessons from Canon films. Yeah, Canon films were so good back in the day. When you saw that Canon logo with the little kind of locking C, you knew you were going to have a good time. I kind of feel that way about TriStar, too. For some reason, I have a warm feeling when I see the little Pegasus. Tommy says he shouldn't be put in a... He should have been put in a penitentiary. Yes. Malachi says, if only there's someone inside your house had bigger kill count. Yes, I think that if there was a larger kill count and if the kills were just a little bit more, I thought the kills were okay. They could have gone further because it's a slasher movie. You want to have fun, I think they could have went farther, but I thought it was pretty cool. Like if I was a 13-year-old, I think I would have enjoyed watching that. I try to think of things from outside of myself because I know at my age, I've seen so much horror that I'm a little bit jaded. And I guess when you've seen so much carnage, it takes more and more to impress you. So then I try to think back to my younger self. How would I have felt about this when I was 13 years old, when I was 20 years old, as opposed to now? And I think if I was, middle school age, that movie, I would have loved it. What are some of the best female villains in horror? Let me think. I don't know whether Regan counts in The Exorcist because technically I don't think she's possessed by a female demon because I think Pazuzu's a male demon, so I don't know whether that counts. But she's definitely number one. The next one, I would say Kayako from Ju-on. She still scares the crap out of me. Let me think. Who else? Angela from Sleepaway Camp. I really enjoy Sleepaway Camp. Who else? Mary Lou and Prom Night. Prom Night was it Prom Night 2? Hello, Mary Lou. Yeah, she's a good one. Um, hmm. Let me think. Can I think of any others that I really enjoy? I don't really see. I was gonna say, what's her name from? Um, oh God, why can't I remember her name? I just picture her saying "you dirty birdie" and hobbling old boy's leg. Misery. I can't remember her name, but I don't know whether she's a villain or I guess she's a villain, but you kind of feel sorry for her at the same time. Let me see what else is going on. Maybe I'll think of some more as we're talking. Goth kids are cool. Yes, they are. Um, the Offspring. Sorry, typo. Is the Offspring the same ones that sing "Pretty Fly for a White Guy"? I mean, that's one of their more poppy hits, but I know they do more punk stuff. But I remember them doing that, kind of making fun of certain things. Tony T says they need to remake Rawhead Rex. Oh my God. Rawhead Rex is on Tubi and it is digitally remastered. It looks great. Um, the monster was supposed to look more sinister. There's an image on how he's supposed to look from Clive Barker. Oh, yeah. Um, when you read the short story from Clive Barker, he's described as looking very phallic, which is funny. I do like the creature design. I think the thing that holds Rawhead Rex back is that there's no facial articulation. It's just static. Like the eyes don't blink, the mouth doesn't move. If they redid him and they corrected those things, I think it would be amazing. That movie scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. The podcast is happy. Nicole says that girl from Urban Legends was a scary villain. The girl that was she the Noxzema girl? I want to say that's the Noxzema. We used to call it a Noxzema girl. I don't know if that was like a universal thing. She had pretty curly hair. How do you feel now that there more Black people are surviving nowadays in horror films? It feels good. Because I remember we were holding on to two. The two that we held on to for the longest was homeboy from Night of the Demons that jumped out the window and he was dressed like a pirate. He survived Night of the Demons, and then the other one we held on to for so long was Kincaid from Nightmare on Elm Street 3: The Dream Warriors, because he survived the part 3. He didn't survive part 4, but he survived part 3. So it's good to have more than those two. Oh, also wait, Kelly Jo Minter, she never died in any horror movie she was in. And she's been in a lot of horror movies. She never died in any of them. I think it's in her contract. Shout out to her. But yeah, it feels good. I would like to still see more diversity in American horror movies, because I was going to put together a list, because usually for the different months, I try to employ different things. Like I review all types of movies year round, but I like to try to highlight things when they're being highlighted by our country at the time. So of course, like during Black History Month, I'm going to highlight more Black movies. During Pride Month, this Pride Month, I spent the month mostly. That's one of the hugest reasons that I talked about Stranger Things and Chucky. Both shows feature characters that are queer characters, and I enjoyed both shows. So I definitely want to feature them, and I've been featuring more queer horror. During Asian and Pacific Islander Month, I had a hard time trying to find movies that had Asian American characters. I could find Asian movies, plenty of Asian movies, and they're awesome. But to find American movies, horror movies that center Asian characters was difficult. So I didn't end up doing a list this year. So I'll still work on it and see what I can come up with. But I would like to see more diversity in that as well. Malachi says, thoughts on Scream 2022. It was okay. I mean, mind you, I'm not the hugest fan of the Scream series. I like the first one the most, and then the others are just like okay for me. I thought it was a fun movie to watch. I thought it had some pretty good jump scares for the Scream 2022. But I'm not a huge Scream fan like that. It's just okay for me. Nicole says, I'm waiting for the trend in horror where Black folks survive the whole movie. It's happening somewhat. Terrence says, sounds like a house of card of creeps about to fall. Oh, you're talking about the R. Kelly situation. Yes, because if he, like I said, he got charged with trafficking. So who is he trafficking to? Like it could just be just transporting them across state lines. That counts as trafficking as well. But there could be a lot of other people involved, and especially the other people that are involved in the cover up. I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be charges coming. I think it's going to be a domino effect. Not only that, because he's appealing, if he appeals and they decide not to take any time off, I'm pretty sure he's going to start snitching. He'll start snitching on everyone else that he was involved with. Marty says, sorry for bringing down the stream with a downer topic. No, it's fine. We're talking about anything. Sorry for I just said the same thing. Don't apologize. It's a good thing that y'all are on the same wavelength. I like that. Black Final Girls. Yes, I did do an article about Black Final Girls. I need to convert that into a video. But I did do an article. It's called My Favorite Black Final Girls, and it's on whatdidijustwatch.com. So if you want to check that out, check it out. And it spans generations because we started having Black Final Girls in the 70s. Now the question is, where'd they go to? Because we had them in the 70s, we had them in the 80s, we had them in the 90s, and then they kind of disappeared. I had mentioned in one of my previous live streams, what might have been this week or last week, about one of the things that I enjoyed about Dr. Sleep was the little girl, because I can't think of a single movie that I saw where there was a Black girl, as in like a young teenage girl or a young child girl, 10 years old or whatever, that was the protagonist in a horror film. The closest we had was the little boy in The People Under the Stairs. I remember him, but I really can't think of any others that were like the main character. So I thought that was really cool that little girls have her now. There's room for everybody. When I say that I like seeing Black characters, that's not saying that I don't like seeing other characters. There's room for everybody. Donna says, I feel R. Kelly shouldn't be the only. No way he did that all by himself. He's not talking. It's a lot of sickos in the industry, just like Rox. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying he's not I'm saying that this is going to be a domino effect. I think he kept his mouth closed for now because he was hoping to get off. Now that he has not gotten off, he's going to start singing like a bird. And a lot of other people are going to have to pay, I'm thinking, if they don't drop the ball. Which, I mean, depending on how powerful the other people are that he was interacting with, because you see what they did to Epstein. He was about to start singing like a canary, and he got suicided. So I just watched a film on Tubi about sex trafficking called April. It was pretty rough. Yeah. Lauren says, hey, Lady Shasha and crazy chat people. Donna says, what was the name of the woman that was trying to get pregnant? The woman I don't know. I don't know the woman that was trying to get pregnant. Rose the Hat and Dr. Sleep is the best horror villain. Mm-hmm. She's pretty cool. I'd like to read. One thing about Dr. Sleep, I did not read it. So I only know from what I see in the movie. And I did not see the director's cut yet. I understand that there's a 3+ hours director's cut. So I haven't seen that one yet. Donna says Sleepaway Camp. Wow, that was an insane movie. Yes, I was not ready. The first time I saw Sleepaway Camp, I was not ready for that ending. I like the whole movie. Angela was so sweet. I just thought that she was going to be the final girl. I just thought, oh, this is going to be the final girl. She's going to have to, be strong and fight whoever the killer is. And it was such a huge twist at the ending. The Witch and We Are Watching. Are you talking about that's two different movies? I know about The Witch. I don't know about We Are Watching. Annie Wilkes. Thank you, Marty. That's the name of the person. Hey, King Nigor. He's also saying Annie Wilkes. I don't know why I could not remember her name. Do you guys remember that viral video of that lady that was in the middle of the Barnes and Noble, and she was dressed like Annie Wilkes, and she was screaming about the author's books and how they didn't have the author's book, and nobody there got that she was pretending to be Annie Wilkes from Misery. Tony says the chick from Splice. Oh, you're talking about the last question, which was about horror, female horror villains. Speaking of that, since you said Splice, what that reminded me of is Species. She was a good villain too. Species and Species 2. The third one, nah, not so much, but Species 1 and Species 2, those were great movies to see in a movie theater. Like the audience reaction was great. It was a fun time. Yes, they sing Pretty Fly. Mm-hmm. Oh, while I have King Needs Gore here, Terrence just said you dropped a new album, King. So I want everybody to see your avatar. So if they want to go listen to your music, they can go to your channel. So peep his avatar here, King Gore. Go check him out. He also does horror reviews and live streams, but he is a musician as well. It says that chick from Species was cool. Mm-hmm. And did I mention Marty's channel? I usually do, but just in case, I'll mention again. Marty also does live streams, so check him out. Terrence does live streams. Like almost everyone here does live streams. So definitely make note of the other people in the chat because they have great channels. That chick from Species was cool. Mm-hmm. Rosemary and Demons. Yes. I said it before and I say it again. I want to cosplay as her, but I'm going to have to sit down and make that wig. I'm going to have to do it old school. Like I'm going to have to take a short wig and then apply the extensions, box braid extensions. But although her extensions look like they're micros at the root, and then the rest is like a twist out. So I'm going to have to do and I have not done micros since the 90s. I don't know if my fingers can handle it. The last time I did micros, and I used to get paid like $100 to do them. That's good money in the 90s. And now I don't know how much they charge to do micro braids, but for the guys that don't understand, they are a bunch of tiny braids if you see a girl and they have a bunch of tiny braids that are all the same size and they come straight out. We call those micros, and they take forever to do. And they're a pain in the ass. That's why I loved when goddess braids came into fashion. And goddess braids are, for guys that don't know, Janet Jackson and Poetic Justice. Those are goddess braids. Those are so much easier, so much faster to do. And mind you, notice I said I'm doing it on a wig because I'm not doing it on my own hair because the takeout is a pain in the ass. Plus, I don't want to have to cut my hair to get the bangs. I don't know if it counts, but John Boyega's character of Moses in Attack the Block was a cool African Anglo character. Yes, he was, and he was a final guy. He was a final guy in the movie, and that was a great movie. Attack the Block. I was so surprised by that. I was not expecting it to be so good. I don't know how I stumbled upon that movie. I don't know how I stumbled upon it, but it was really, really, really good. If you haven't seen Attack the Block, check it out. It's a great sci-fi horror about teens, and it takes place in apartment complexes, which I like apartment horror. I think it's almost scarier. Natasha Hinstridge, yes, Lordrin. Yeah, I want to say she was a model. I think she was a high fashion model before she went into acting, and might be one of her first acting roles. The Space Vampire and Life Force is another great female horror villain. Yes, she was. And that actress, I don't know her name offhand, but I believe I saw somewhere that she was actually a ballet dancer. And the reason why they hired a dancer was because she had so little dialogue that she would have to act more physically, but also her walk. Like she just had this walk that was, I don't know how to describe it, like otherworldly. And a dancer would be able to enact that better than a actor. I think that's why they chose Rebecca Gayheart. Yes, the Noxzema girl. Javi says R. Kelly didn't kill himself. I didn't say that he did. I'm saying that Epstein. Oh, are you making a joke that if that happens to R. Kelly that he didn't do himself in? Sometimes you would think I would understand Hobby View's sense of humor. By the way, Hobby View is my older brother. He has a channel that centers around remote control flying, mostly airplanes, quadcopters, helicopters, although every now and then he does feature a boat or a remote control car on there too. But check him out. He has live streams as well. And he does builds and 3D printing builds too. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. I don't know a whole lot about remote control cars. He wouldn't let me play with his. Said you're too little. You're gonna break it. So now when I come to visit, I'm going to play with all your remote control stuff because I'm not too little anymore. Halloween with Busta and LL, did they survive? Did LL survive in Halloween? I really don't remember. He survived in Deep Blue Sea. I don't know whether Busta Rhymes survived in Halloween. I just remember him trying to karate fight Michael Myers and saying "trick or treat, motherfucker." That's all I remember. And I reviewed that movie, and I still don't remember. Yeah, the shark movie with the bird, that was Deep Blue Sea. Where Samuel Jackson got eaten in Deep Blue Sea, but LL Cool J did survive. At Hobby, Tony Man says, yet. If you could interview who, if alive, Alfred Hitchcock, Wes Craven, or Stephen King? Stephen King is still alive. Stephen King is still alive. How dare you? I'm just kidding, but yeah. The most interesting, gosh, let me think. That's a hard one because all three would be really, really amazing to talk to. I'm going to say Stephen King. I think Stephen King, only because I've heard that Alfred Hitchcock was kind of a jerk in real life. I don't want to talk to him, being a jerk. I heard Wes Craven is very nice, but I would be more interested in talking to Stephen King. I think that he has just his mind, just the way his mind works is amazing. So yeah, I think I would choose Stephen King. King says, well, the bird didn't. Yeah. Lordran says Alfred Hitchcock would try to bend you over. Wes Craven would be cool. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I heard that Hitchcock was not a very nice person in real life. I've heard the same thing about Kubrick, Stanley Kubrick. Like, there's actors that will never talk to him again. And Tarantino. There's a lot of actors that have worked with him will never talk to him again. Terrence says Wes Craven every time. Donna says sing like a bird, R. Kelly, expose all the sickos. Yeah, that's what. You got nothing to lose now. You got 30 years sitting there. You might as well tell the truth. Tell on everybody. Hitchcock was a creep and King made his best work high on coke, just saying. I don't know if it was his best, writing his best work high on coke, but not, I still remember Maximum Overdrive. He said that he was high on coke when he was directing that. And I still kind of enjoy it. Like, a lot of people crap on Maximum Overdrive. It's not as bad as the way people make it sound. For Young Black Girl, the movie, the girl with... Yes, you're right, Aster. The girl with all the gifts, about the little girl that's a zombie. Yes. Dr. Sleep was great all around, Mr. Dan says. Capri says, how did you like the Blackula movies? I loved them. I grew up on them, especially Scream, Blackula, Scream. I reviewed Blackula. I paired it with Vampire in Brooklyn because, in my opinion, Vampire in Brooklyn is kind of like a remake of Blackula in a lot of ways. But yeah, I love Blackula, and I love that the actor, his name escapes me, but he had a lot of input on how the character was created, and it was his idea to make him an African prince, which I thought was a really, really cool thing to do, especially in the 70s. So he was an African prince at the very beginning of the movie. He's talking to these British dignitaries about releasing his people. He's talking about their actual slave trade. And I thought that, and again, this circles back to what we were talking about earlier in this live stream about how people today complain about, oh, it's woke. That was woke. A dude sitting there portraying an African prince, talking to British colonizers saying, you need to let my people go. You're enslaving them and you need to let them go. And he ends up getting bitten by Dracula and becoming a vampire. That's woke. And people didn't cry about it then. So I feel like the people crying now, you're full of crap. You just want something to cry about. R. Kelly flew too close to the sun when he was in concert singing to the audience about going home with him and asking if they had their shots. Yes, I remember that. That was in Africa that he was doing that. Oh, Donna, you can just call me Shasha. You don't have to type out that whole thing, because I know that's a pain in the ass to type out. Just Shasha, SHA is fine. The movie was Species. I believe that was. Oh, okay, that's what you were asking about. I misunderstood the question. Yeah. She was trying to get pregnant. Was that Species? Yeah, Species. She was trying to get pregnant, and in Species 2, it was like a male version that was impregnating women, and they were like going through the whole pregnancy in a matter of minutes. Yes, not many people talk about that movie, Astrid. Um, the French movie Inside. Terrence says Blackula is 50 this month and it's a classic. Scream Blackula Scream I can do without. I kind of I have a special place in my heart for Scream Blackula Scream because it's one of the VHS tapes that my mother had when I was in high school, and that's who put me onto these movies. My mother, she had these VHSs and she was like, "You need to watch this one, watch this one." I wouldn't have known about Blackula. I wouldn't have known about. But there's a bunch of them. There's Blackula, Blackenstein. I think it's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Or is it Dr. Black and Mr. Hyde? There's a whole bunch of them that I know because of her. And of course, I know about Dark Shadows because of my grandmother. That was her thing. Um, is your CD like the Gravediggers horrorcore rap? Micro braids were like Coolio when he had hair. Sort of, but more like the way I can describe it is if you've seen Rosemary, her hair in Demons, those are micros. Well, the roots are micros. The hair is not braided all the way down. This is so hard to just try to describe to men. Forget about it. You'll see it when you see it. I'm not even going to try to explain it. The women know what I'm talking about. French movie, I'm lost. Yeah, she put it up further in the thread. I read it about Inside, but Donna, you might like Inside. But remember, look for the original French version. I believe they have a dubbed version and a subtitled, but it's a really, really good movie. Don't look at the remake. The remake it's garbage. It's trash. It's a heart. How about a cosplay of Linda Blair and Savage Streets? I was gonna do that. I literally had that on my list last year, and I didn't get a chance to. I really wanted to do that one. And Savage Streets, that movie wrecked me when I was a kid because I was not expecting it. This is me watching Savage Streets. I was like 12 years old, and I'm watching, I think it was Cinemax. And this movie comes on 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, it's called Savage Streets. Oh, I don't know what that is. Let me check it out. I was not prepared. My little middle school self was not prepared for that movie. It was so like shocking and gut wrenching to me as a kid. Like, I know I was way too young to be watching it, but but the way I felt watching that movie, I was like, but then it felt so good when she got revenge. And that's before I go to the next comment, that's what I was saying was missing from that movie Fresh. Fresh is also kind of like a revengey type movie, but the revenge was not good enough. I'm like, this is not a satisfying revenge. Anyone seen the horror movie The Cleaning Lady? It was a slow burn, crazy movie, the ending insane. I saw the trailer for The Cleaning Lady. I did not know that it was out yet. Could you let me know, where did you watch it? Like, what app did you watch it on? Is it like on Amazon, or I'm trying to figure out whether I have to pay for it or not. Savage Streets is cool. Best but put down ever. Go F an iceberg. No, I think the best put down I heard, was it in, it might have been in Sleepaway Camp. It might not have been. Where one of the kids said to the other one, eat shit and die. And the other one said back to him, eat shit and live. I'm just like, that's when you think about it, that's disgusting. Keep the chat going. I'm getting a ride from Carlton to prevent from melting. Okay. Tell him to drive safely. I should say, if he can hear, what's up, Carlton? Drive safely. Honest mistake. Let's see here. I'm super late, but hello. Hello, Ashley. Nice to see you. Would be cruel, ironic justice if Kelly was locked in a closet. that shouldn't be funny, but it is. Good enough, thanks. And Javi still says, "No, you're not old enough." I'm still not old enough to play with his remote control toys. Okay, Marty says Busta did survive in that I started to say Friday the 13th, Halloween. I think it's Halloween Resurrection. Did Ice Cube survive in Anaconda? I want to say he did. Does anybody remember that bet? I have not watched Anaconda since the 90s. I've never rewatched it. I worked at the movie theater when it came out, so I saw it a couple times when it came out, but I've never rewatched it outside of that, so I don't remember, but I feel like he did. The most insulting thing about that movie is Jon Voight's South American accent. They really let that man walk around the movie talking about the anaconda skin, baby Bart. That was terrible. That was terrible. Nah, it's more Doom mixed with Injury Reserve. There's a lot going on in it, to be honest. It's on Spotify and Amazon Music too. Oh, shout out to that. Congratulations. Cube survived Ghost of Mars. I have not seen Ghost of Mars. I've only heard bad things about it. I'll have to check it out one day, but everyone that I've seen it told me that it really wasn't good. Buster survived. Yes. Thank you. Nicole saying hi to Ashley. King says, yeah, Cube survived. Oh, shoot. The thing to chat just jumped up. Darn it. I gotta scroll. Nicole back. That's nice. Don't think Cube dies in anything, to be honest. Cube survived in Anaconda. They got snakes out here this big. Yep. Oh, speaking of that, there wasn't an anaconda that was caught in Florida? Hold on. Just this week, they caught a huge... I'll get back to the chat in a minute, but I want to show you guys this snake that they caught in Florida. It was huge. It was a Burmese python. Let me see if they have the picture of it here. Yeah, I hate news sites. News sites always take the longest to load, and they just suck. Let me go to images. There it is. Here we go. Okay, where's the picture? I clicked on article and now that, oh, it says 33 photos, but it's still loading. There it is. Yeah. This was found in Florida last week. A Burmese python. I think they said it was 18 feet long. Yeah. Female snake measured nearly 18 feet in length and weighed 215 pounds. It was captured through the Conservancy's research program, which uses radio transmitters implanted in male scout snakes. Scout snakes lead biologists to breeding aggregations and large reproductive females, allowing researchers to remove them from the wild. Now, I believe they said she was pregnant too, this snake. It's not saying it here. There's another picture of it. Let me read some more comments. Well, William Marshall. Yes, that's the name. I never remember his name. He played Blackula, and my brother always reminds me that he also played on Star Trek as the engineer that designed the ship's computer on the Enterprise, if I'm not mistaken. Have seen Nightmare City when everyone becomes a red. Yes, Nightmare City is a great movie. I think it's still on Tubi. Lady Shot, Stephen King was most certainly high when making that Maximum Overdrive trailer. He's off his tits with eyes as big as goldfish bowls. Oh, probably his pupils were dilated. Is Nightmare City anime? No, Nightmare City it's an Italian zombie movie. Let me see if I can get some. Let's see if I pull up the poster. It might have more than one title. A lot of Italian movies have more than one title. Yeah. There it is. That's Nightmare City. And there's the other title for it, Incubo. It might also be listed under contamination. I think some places it'll be listed as the title being contamination. Here's a still from it. That's not the best still because there's like better effects in it than that. Let me see if they have any pictures of the zombies. Here's one. It's a little blurry, but it's pretty much like an Italian zombie movie. I think they did do a lot of shooting in New York. That's one cool thing that they do. You can see the New York skyline in the background. They'll shoot a lot of exteriors in New York, and then they'll go back to Italy and film a lot of the interior scenes in their studios. I'm all thumbs up with typing today. Don't worry about it. Seriously, by the time you read this, I'm already safely chilling. Okay, probably because I'm really behind in reading these. I never seen Species 2, the male getting women pregnant. I have to watch. Yeah, it's a male, and the Species 2 is a male alien. Well, I think it's an astronaut that gets somehow changed by the alien, and he goes around impregnating a whole bunch of women who give birth to like full-grown children, like give birth to like 8-year-olds. Blackenstein is hilarious. It's one of those so bad it's good. Hey, now just popping up to show some love. Hey, Swoop like me. Hope everything is going well. Thank you for popping up. Swoop says, hey, chat. Nicole says, hey, Swoop. Have you ever seen Creepshow 3? I still have not seen Creepshow 3, and I know that it's on YouTube. I need to sit down and watch it one day. It's just, this is the poster for Creepshow 3. I just look at it, I'm like, that looks so bad. I'm going to pull it up. This one here. This was the poster, and I look at that, and I go, that looks terrible. Eventually, I'm going to have to sit down and watch Creepshow 3. It looks like they changed it. This is a much better picture or cover for the DVD or whatever. But yeah, I think it's on, I think the whole movie is uploaded to YouTube. Tony Man says, what's up, Swoop? Are you an Eagles fan like myself? And Donna says, oh, there's a French version. I will check it out. Oh, I should show here while I have this up inside. Well, actually, I should write the French title. Okay. See if I can remember how to spell it. I tried. I was close. I think I put an extra U. There it is. Alintilieu. And then on IMDb, see it comes up as inside, but it's Alintilieu. I was so close. Spelling in French is not my strong suit. I haven't really done it since high school, but okay. So happy Friday. Swoop says Donna just being real. The cleaning lady, I saw it on Tubi. I think I'm with you. I'm the free apps. Yes. Then I'll check it out. If it's on Tubi, I'll check it out because I don't have every app. I mostly have Tubi. I use my sister's Netflix and her Amazon Prime, and then I have Shudder, which I don't really watch all that much, but I watch it. Like I'm gonna see what Joe Bob's playing tonight. I've been going back and forth on Joe Bob. If he plays something I'm interested in watching, then I'll watch it and live tweet. But if he plays something I'm not that into, then I'll just find something else to watch. Like one week he was playing Slaughterhouse, not my favorite movie, so I skipped it. And then last week, although I did watch some of the interview that he did with was it not Dan O'Bannon? I can't remember the gentleman's name. The gentleman who's the head of Full Moon Video. I saw a bit of his interview, and then Joe Bob was playing head of the house, and I don't really like that one. If he had played Puppet Master, I would have stayed and watched it, but I don't like head of the house. Too funny. Everybody's saying hello. Have you seen Return to Sleepaway Camp? When everyone comes back, everyone hates that film, but I love it. I have not seen that one yet. I think that's one of the newer ones, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, Curly Girl, what's up? And if anyone doesn't already know, she has a great channel. Check her out. Sometimes she'll be beating me to these movies. Like she'll put up her review, and I'll be like, "Damn, I was about to review that." But she chooses the best movies to review, though. Like, I like which movies that she chooses. She always chooses something that's interesting. Terrence says hi. Nicole says hi. Oh my God, John Voight was wrong. Yes, I never met, mind you, the school that I went to. Like, it's good that they made him from Uruguay, because where I lived, there wasn't I don't think I ever met anyone from Uruguay, but in my school, we had people from Chile, Peru, Colombia, Ecuador. We had only one student from Brazil, but a lot of South American students in my high school, and nobody sounded like what the hell John Voight sounded like. Like, what the hell is that? And then, of course, like, there was mad Puerto Rican students, Dominican students, Colombian students. But yeah, when I heard him, at first, it didn't dawn on me that he was trying to do a South American accent until I asked him in the movie where he was from, and he said Uruguay, and I was like, okay. Terrence says, "Oh, Ghost of Mars is good fun. I'll have to check it out." What 80s horror movie, Carrie, My Bloody Valentine, or Prom Night, you would like to star in? All those are good. I connect the most with Carrie. I really love that movie. And I love the ending when she starts messing people up. But I feel like it would be more fun to be in My Bloody Valentine because of the gore. And I love gore. So, yeah. Oh, wait. But Prom Night has a disco scene. I want to be in the disco scene. That's so hard. Okay, I'm going to say Prom Night just because I want to be in a disco scene. Ryan says, "Hey, King Gore, do you remember me?" Hey, Terrence. Terrence saying, hey, one are awesome. Nightmare City is an Italian horror film from the 80s. Mm-hmm. What the hell? That's a huge snake. Yeah. And by the way, that is not native to Florida. By the name Burmese python. It's from Southeast Asia. That's why they had to capture it before it gave birth, because, like I said, it was pregnant. Yep, huge snake. The dude in the middle looks like he's saying, "Do you think I'll get my $20 bill back?" Let me see. Let me go back. I want to see what you're talking about here. What is it holding in that dish? Are you saying the taller guy with the light colored shirt on and a ponytail? You're probably talking about this picture. Tony Man says, "See, they literally have snakes out here this big." Nicole, I think you're thinking of the horror anime Wicked City. Mm-hmm. William Marshall had a nice cameo in Maverick before he passed. Great actor. Nightmare City is supposed to be fun. As I remember, it was. Maverick is underrated. I have not seen Maverick. I want to say, is that the one with Mel Gibson. Thoughts on this? I heard that the director Park Chan Wook was an inspiration for the film, a Serbian film. Well, Park Chan Wook, if I remember correctly, is the director of Old Boy, which is a pretty extreme film. So I could see where them wanting to do extreme cinema, they would be inspired by Park Chan Wook. I don't think they nailed it though, but I mean that's all relative opinion, you know. For me, I enjoy Park Chan Wook's work better than a Serbian film. Um, but yeah, I could see where they would get inspiration for that. And I think Park Chan Wook, that was also him that did I. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was him that did I Saw the Devil. Any other picture of this? Yeah, this article is not saying that the snake was pregnant, but there was another article that I saw that it said the snake was pregnant with like 200 eggs, but it's not saying that in this article. It's just saying the same blurb underneath every picture. This is terrible. This is terrible website. Yeah, because it's the same paragraph over and over again underneath different pictures. This is a horrible website. I don't consider this a real news source. I'm just showing the pictures. So let that let the record state I am not saying this is a reputable news source. But I did see on the regular Florida news this snake. Anyways, um, Nicole says, you guys have a good night. See you next time. Yeah, I'm about to get out of here soon too. Thank you for coming through, Nicole. I appreciate you. Terrence says, cheerio, Nicole. I didn't know there was a Creep Show 3. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, I just saw that it's been uploaded to YouTube for years and they never pulled it. So I guess, I mean, I don't know what the rights issues are with that. Never bothered with Creep Show 3. Not much of a fan of 2, besides the raft story. I love 2, and I love Thanks for the Ride, lady. That's my favorite short that's part of Creep Show 2. Swoop says she is a Raiders fan. Donna says, thanks for showing it. No problem. Hey, King Gore. Hey, Curly Girl at the movies. Ryan says, Inside is a great horror film. I wish my favorite French actor, Romain Duris, was in it because he would have done great in horror. Swoop says, hey, Ryan. How are you going to fit Joe Bob and Stranger Things being the final 2 episodes are 1.5 and 2.5 hours long, respectively? I'm going to see what Joe Bob is playing tonight. And if he's not playing anything interesting, I'm going to watch Stranger Things. If he is playing something I want to see, I'll watch him. And then I'll have to stay my ass off of Twitter and so I can watch Stranger Things tomorrow. Because I know, I mean, I got to stay off social media is what I got to do until I watch it. But it's either going to be tonight or tomorrow. Hey, Terrence, Miguena. With Anaconda, I didn't know who ate more, the snake or the cast or Vought chewing the scenery. Yeah, Vought chewing the scenery ate the most. But I liked when the snake spit him back up and he winked at Jennifer Lopez. That's the best role she's ever acted in. Hey, Swoop. John Voight definitely ate more. Mm-hmm. Donna says, LOL, I know, Shasha, hard question. I would pick My Bloody Valentine. LOL. That's a great movie. Did you see the remake? That's one of the better remakes was My Bloody Valentine. Most of the time, these remakes are trash, but the My Bloody Valentine remake was pretty good. And it was in 3D. King says, I think so. What's up, Curly Girl? How do we get this mother effing snake off this mother effing table? Yeah. Yeah, because they said it weighed 200-something pounds, so I know they got a couple of them got to pick it up. Hey, Mr. Dan, and let's see here. I Saw the Devil is a different director, but the actor from Old Boy is in it. Oh, that's probably why they go together in my head. What's up, Terrence? And I Saw the Devil was Kim Ji-woon. Thank you. By the way, I'm going to start doing a lot more I don't want to call them K-drama because they're not just drama. They're also thriller movies, or not movies, TV series, but they are so good. And I wish more people were talking about them. And I'm not just talking about ones on Netflix. The ones on Netflix, like Sweet Home. Um, Sweet Home was okay. I liked it, but it wasn't that great. But the two I think that are better than Sweet Home, in my opinion, All of Us Are Dead, really really great, and Kingdom, which I'm hoping for a season 3 of Kingdom. But on the Viki app, they have some stuff that put those to shame. Like those are entry level K thrillers. I'm gonna call them K thrillers. Mouse, I can't even Mouse. That's all I can tell you. I'm gonna start talking about Mouse and Flower of Evil. Flower of Evil, y'all don't even know. That's what Netflix needs to get, those type of shows. Those are amazing. Kim Ji-woon directed I Saw the Devil and Arnie action movie Last Stand for some reason. That actually makes me want to see that Last Stand movie. Hey, sweet me, Curly Girl says. And I feel the boys, especially the octopus scene with the deep, use that old boy scene. And I saw was directed by Kim Ji-woon and written by Park Hoon-jung. Thank you. Oop, I just hit my microphone. Thank you for that. Yes, the octopus scene in The Boys where Homelander makes the deep eat an octopus, it does make you think of that scene in Old Boy. CML Entertainment says, hello, how are you doing? And what are you watching this weekend? Shout out to CML Entertainment. Check him out too. He has been doing some horror movie reviews and he also has been reviewing some trailers. But his channel has been some great content. I like when he says, keep it scary. But tonight I'm planning on seeing what Joe Bob Briggs is playing. And if it's something I want to watch, I'm going to watch and live tweet it on Twitter. If it's something that I've either seen too many times or I don't really care for, I'm going right into Stranger Things. And then, well, I might watch the episode 7 of The Boys first and then watch the Stranger Things. But that's why I got to get out of here. It's 5:30. It's going to take hours. CML, it's about to lose his home in a fire. What? Lordson, what do you mean by that? Hey, Francis. Francis says, greetings. And if you don't know where that avatar is from, or Francis Chainsaw, that is from Summer School. And I identify with that character so much, especially when I was in high school. I was Francis Chainsaw. That's me, especially with the gore and stuff. That was me. Tony says, we need to start paying you for asking questions in the comments. This is way too fun. Yeah, they didn't give me super chat yet. Maybe I'll get a whatchamacallit, a Venmo, and people give me dollar tips. That would be nice. CML says, no, Lord, you're not the gas can, LOL. UXSX says, hola, hola. And I say, hola, ¿qué tal? And Trash Picture shows, are you going to review the spinoff Kingdom Ashen of the North? I should, because it goes together with that. And it was a nice bridge. Ashen of the North is like a one-off, I would call it an extended episode more than a movie. And it tells a character's backstory in preparation for their entrance into the storyline of Kingdom. So yeah, if I end up doing Kingdom, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Kingdom has the same amount of episodes as We Are All Dead. So that's what I'm going to do as soon as I finish Hellbound and Ju-on, which, like, by the way, Ju-on is not Korean, it's Japanese, but I only paired it with Hellbound because they have the same amount of episodes. They have 6 episodes. So that's the only reason why I paired them together. I've been trying to pair, like if I am doing live streams of 2 different shows, I try to pair shows that have the same number of episodes so that it'll be like I can finish them at the same time. Did you see the film Men yet? I'm now messed up. The ending will gross you out. I love the ending of Men. Because you know what the ending of Men kind of reminds me of? And it's such an odd thing because it's technically not the same, but it felt the same. If you've ever seen Extro, it had felt very Extro, that ending, the way it was done. Not what happened in it, but the way it was done. I would, if I didn't know, I would say, is this from the same director that did Extro? Because that's the way it felt. But Men, yeah, the ending, if you like gore and you like practical effects, and they did a combination of practical and CGI, and it was seamless. It looked great. But that ending, It's something else. I'm gonna talk about Men. I'm gonna review that. Um, I'm not sure whether I want to do it by itself or whether I want to pair it with Hatching, because this past weekend I watched. How did I watch? In what order did I watch these movies? I know I watched Men. I watched Hatching. I watched Crimes of the Future, and I feel like there was a fourth movie I watched, but I can't remember what it was. That's not a good sign. If I can't even remember what the movie was, then that means it was very forgettable. Or maybe I'm thinking I watched four movies. I only watched three. But anyways, this past week I watched Men, Hatching, and Crimes of the Future. So I've got to get those reviews out. I got to record and get those reviews out. I got to get back into a good recording schedule. Not many people get the reference, but if you know, you know. Chainsaw and Dave need a spin-off movie so badly. Yeah. Tommy says, I saw Men. I thought the poster was pretty cool, but was completely confused at the ending. Curly Girl says, yes, very extra. Francis says, OMG, extra rules. You know, every now and then on the internet, they always put a picture of the alien from Extra and say, oh, this alien was spotted on the street. And it's like, that's from Extra. And people always get fooled and think that that's a real thing. Got to dust off and chat to Jen. Awesome hanging out as always. Thank you, Marty. Tell Jen I said what's up. Also tell her to say what's up to the boy. Extra is nuts. Mm-hmm. Nothing worse than forgettable movie. Yeah. I watched The Retreat. Mm-hmm. I think that was the that was the fourth movie, The Retreat. I'm sorry. I totally forgot about that movie. It's a forgettable movie. I mean, I get the point of it. It was okay, but the fact that I literally forgot that I watched it, yeah. I don't think I'm going to review it because I mean, how can I review it? I don't remember. Summer School is a classic. Yes, it is. And now that I'm all caught up on the chat, I'm going to get out of here because I need to get something to drink and eat and get ready for tonight. I might be able to watch The Boys before Joe Bob comes on so I can get that done. Now I have to watch Extra LO. I've never seen it. Oh, you got to check it out. It's let me see before I go. Let me see if I can pull up the poster for it. I recall it having a pretty cool poster. Yeah, there it is. From 1982. And this is the creature. Every now and then on the internet, somebody will post this picture and say, strange creature spotted. And it's literally just from Extra. Terrence says, really fun stream, Shasha. Thank you. Thank you all. I'm glad everybody came through. We had a good time talking. Have a great weekend, everyone. Capri says, what are some of your most best horror movies endings and some of your worst? I'm not sure. Let me think. I can think of the best. Best horror movie endings. Definitely Sleepaway Camp. I would say Poltergeist. What's another great ending? Candyman. Let me think. Friday the 13th Part 4. That's another great ending. The Descent, the original ending, not the American ending, because it's the original ending, not the American ending, because they made two different endings. Hot Tension. I like the ending of that one a lot. Martyrs. That had an amazing ending. What would be the worst endings? Trying to think. If it's a worse ending, I'm thinking of, to me, it's like the whole movie is bad. So For me, whole bad movies. Terrifier. I know it's an unpopular opinion because a lot of people like Terrifier. I like the design of Art the Clown, but I didn't like the execution of the movie. Um, I'm not huge on the Firefly family. In the like the Devil's Rejects movies, they're not for me. I can't think of another a bad ending. But I'm supposed to be getting out of here anyways. You're getting me distracted, Capri. Ask me that same question again next week. I'll try to do better. Donna says, Shasha and chat, everyone have a great and safe 4th of July weekend. Don't drink and drive. Not worth it. I agree. Do not drink and drive. Stay home or get an Uber. Yes, have a brilliant weekend, everyone. Yeah, and I hear the thunder coming, so I might get kicked off here anyways. Have you seen The Beast from Within? Yes, I have seen The Beast from Within, and that has a great, if I remember, a great transformation scene with like the bubbling face, if I'm thinking of the right movie. Have a great weekend, everyone. Tony T says, best for me was The Ring and Paranormal Activity. Yeah, the ending of Paranormal Activity was kind of creepy to me. And the Ring. Nightmare on Elm Street ending is bonkers with Nancy's mom getting. See, the thing that kept me from naming that as one of the better ones was the dummy that they used. Every time I think of the ending, all I can think of is that rubber dummy going through the window. And I'm like, they shouldn't have done that. Is there any big horror events happening this year as you know of? I want to do something this year. I will definitely keep you in the loop. Let me know. And you could always come through. Like anybody here that has a channel, you can always come through. Just let me know the day before. You can come through on these Friday live streams and we could chat on the live stream. Just let me know and I'll send you the link. The Ring, hands down, one of the best endings. Mm-hmm. All right, let me get ready to get out of here. Let me stop sharing there and start sharing here. And I hope everybody has a safe weekend. Terrence said, well, Capri says it was a lame ending to him. Yeah. Okay. And with that, I'm out of here for real this time. Hey, 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 hey.